The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves. He would make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb her trunk and swing from her branches. And he would eat her apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree. The tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." So the boy gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree grew sad. Then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy. And she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm. I want a wife, and I want children. So I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you could cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." So the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." So the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. After a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "Well, my teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. My branches are gone, said the tree. You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches, said the boy. My trunk is gone, said the tree. You cannot climb. I am too tired to climb, said the boy. I am sorry, sighed the tree. I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry. I don't need very much now, said the boy. Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired. Well, said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest. And the boy did. And the tree was happy.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Liza Boyd, and I'm a senior at Jackson High School. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Love. It's a simple 4-letter word. We use it multiple times a day. I love that song. I love pizza. I love that TV show. I love insert word here. But what is love really? Everyone seems to have forgotten the real message. In Mark 12:31, God calls us to love thy neighbor as thyself. We've all known this since we can remember. We just used to call it the golden rule. Yet, do we really understand what it means? Yeah, we may do nice things for each other, hold the door open, say please and thank you, and other meaningless tasks. But God showed us his love in a big way. In John 3:16, the Bible says, "For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, for whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." I don't know about you, but this verse has transformed into one of my favorites over the years. It started off as just a verse that you have to memorize, but when you dig deeper into it, it has a bigger meaning. God shows us an example of how to love, which is by giving. This is the way I choose to love. I give gifts, hugs, words of encouragement, words of comfort, quality time, and countless others. I chose that way, or rather, it chose me. I've always felt drawn to helping others. If that was helping them pick up books that fell on the ground, or having a conversation with them on the phone all night. I love it, and it's a gift that God has graciously given me. I've already done a lot. Volunteer at Camp Aldersgate countless summers, helping out with the preschool, Sunday school class for a few years, collecting canned goods for needy families, and others. I hope that I will be able to continue living my life helping others with whatever God has in store for my future. This church has always been a home and family for me. It's a catalyst for where my love of helping comes from. I was baptized here, spent countless Sundays and Wednesdays here, made friends, and just loved it here. I have so many amazing memories of growing up with my fellow seniors. All of us in the preschool Sunday school class, learning about the Bible stories, growing older, going through confirmation, and watching our class of 25 dwindle down to the few that we have now. But as over the years, we've grown closer. High school has been a time of learning and growing for me. I've changed so much in that time, but I'm a stronger person because of it. I'm very happy that I've stuck with this youth group. And even though it meant I had to give up precious sleep because of church retreats, or that I had to give up sleep to wake up on Sunday and go to Sunday school, the point I'm trying to make is I like sleep. But not really. The truth is, I've loved going to the church retreats, even though we were 3-1 on the drama at Cool Retreat, but I still had a lot of fun. I loved hanging out with the other youth and playing care games, though if you bring it up again, I will deny it. Even the 1,000,001 text messages or postcards begging me to come to chaos. Kara's been a major influence over these past years, and I couldn't have been turned into the person that I am without her, so I would just like to take this time to thank her for everything that she's done. Everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. God has given each of us amazing gifts. Mine is helping others. Your job is to find out how you see love and change the world, and use it to change the world. Because according to 1 John 4:8, whoever does not love God does not know God, because God is love. And his love never fails, no matter how high the mountains that you face are, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times others fail you. God's love will never fail you. It is the only thing that remains. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Madeline Geiser, and I'm a senior at Jackson High School. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Without music, life would be a mistake," and I have to agree with him. Music has been a part of my life since before I can remember. I'm fairly certain I could read music before I could even write English. From crayon-shaped pianos to cherub choir, from banging pots like a drummer to listening to my favorite sing-along songs, my childhood was anything but silent. My mother's passion for the art trickled down into my heart at a very young age, exciting me about the future prospects music had in store for me. I began learning to play the French horn 8 years ago. I began playing in the church bell choir 6 years ago, and began voice pretty much 18 years ago. Now I'm the president of the Jackson High School Band, the vice president of the Jackson Chapter for Tri-M Music Honor Society, as well as a member of countless ensembles, both at school and here at Church of the Lakes. Although I got my start in Christian classics, music began to mean more to me than merely the interpretation of the hymn verses or the perfection of my musical technique. Since I have always had a strong passion for science as well as music, I wondered what the physical effects would be of my music on my brain. According to research, music affects different parts of the brain in many different ways. For example, music improves one's motor cortex by connecting the mechanics of foot tapping, dancing, and even playing an instrument with the temporal lobe's interpretation of sound. Music also makes a lasting imprint on the hippocampus, which is responsible for memories, and connects events and experiences to a tune, melody, or pitch vibration of any kind. Studies have also shown that learning music helps with memory speed, recall, and accuracy. Furthermore, music stimulates and exercises the amygdala, which is the part of brain responsible for an emotional reaction to music. It can cause certain melodies to elicit tears, smiles, and even anger. However physically different my brain has become as a result of my exposure to the auditory arts, the most important change music has had on me has been one of a more spiritual nature. Although I first learned to see God in his hymns, I have found his love in all forms of music throughout my teenage years. When I was disappointed with a friend, my parents, school, or anything really, I turned to my favorite bands, solo artists, and composers for comfort. To me, music is both a physical and emotional way to spiritually connect to God and to see how his awesome love translates into all things. Music is God's gift to all of us. The way in which humans can manipulate vibrations to cause a deep emotional reaction astound me and can only be accredited to a higher, divine force that we cannot even begin to comprehend. I would like to leave you with a lesser-known verse that spoke to me about the timeless, judgeless, and all-knowing power of God's love metastasized in music form to the book of Job, chapter 35, verse 10, which reads as follows. But no one says, "Where is God my maker, who gives songs in the night?" Job, who has lost everything he once held dear, still acknowledges the everlasting power of God's love, which can be found in music. Even though I have not faced any challenges near to those of Job, I know with the support and protection of God's love, I can conquer all things. I will never be abandoned by God, who loves us so much as to bless us with the never-ending gift of music. Thank you.
First Corinthians 13, 4-7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. Hi, my name is Sam Summers, and I'm a senior at Jackson High School. I would like everyone to take a second and think about what love means to you. When I think of love, I think of the gooey romantic movie type love where everything works out perfectly and everyone ends up happy. If this were true, love truly would never fail, but in today's world, love does fail. Friends, family, your significant other, and really anyone can fail you in some type of way. I know the theme for this year is love never fails, and I just said the opposite. But before I get to my point, I would like to go back to the first verse I read. Love is patient and love is kind. Now, as Christians, it is our job to spread God's love and to be an example of God's love. However, when I'm driving behind somebody going 10 miles per hour under the speed limit, I am not patient nor am I kind. This is just a lighter example of how love can fail. Love can fail in so many ways. Friends can betray you, people can cheat on you, disobey your trust, and so much more. According to APA.org, 50% of marriages will end in divorce. In a world full of failing love, it is our job as Christians to find examples of love, to be examples of love. In my life, I have been overly blessed to have so many examples of love from my friends, my family, church programs such as Royal Family Kids Camps, youth group, and especially my youth leader, Kara Schroeder, the one who makes all of this possible. Kara, thank you for showing me how to spread God's love and teaching me how to love myself. I can never thank you enough for everything you've done for me and this youth group. As I look at my life, there's one person I can thank for all of this, and that person is God, the one truly perfect example of love, the one person who will always be by your side, and the one person who will never give up on you, no matter how many times you give up on him. God is truly amazing. As I wrap up my sermon, I would like to revisit Corinthians 13, and instead of saying love in the verse, I'm going to substitute it with the word God. God is patient, God is kind. He does not envy, he does not boast. God does not dishonor others, he is not self-seeking. God is not easily angered, he keeps no record of wrongdoings. God does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. God always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. God never fails. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Miranda Farrago, and I'm a senior at Green High School. There are billions of definitions of love because everyone has their own definition and what it means to them. On top of everyone's own personal definition, there are the two other worldly definitions. There's the dictionary and God's definition. The dictionary definition is love is a strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. God's definition of love is found in Corinthians 13, 4-7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. My definition of love is based around the concept of quality time. There is no way to love or have any sort of feelings for someone else without being with them. If someone loves you, they will spend time with you. If you love someone else, you will make time for them. Another part is that it is caring, honest, and respectful. Love isn't always just between two people. It can be between a group of people, because love is a concept that is between everyone. Outside of my family, I spend a lot of the time with my high school swim team. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the more time I spend with them, the more I love them. We spend countless hours together during practice and outside of the pool. They're the first people I see in the morning for morning practice. I sit with them during classes and at lunch, and I see them after school for practice. On top of that, we have movie nights, team dinners, and a range of fun activities like ice skating, sled riding, and laser quest. In the actual definition of the word love, there is not a mention of what love looks like. It describes how it is perceived, which is being close emotionally or physically. Love is much more than that. God showed us love in many ways, but the most influential is Jesus. God is patient with people. He protects us, and his love will never fail. Earthly love can fall apart, but God's never will. Hearts will be broken along the way, but God will never break your heart. He'll help you pick up the pieces. His love is stronger than anything that we know. His love is the original love, and nothing can break it. Jesus is the bridge that allows for God's love in everyone's life. He should be the one you put your trust in. I will leave you with this. Jeremiah 31:3. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have continued my faithfulness to you.
Good morning. My name is Stacey George, and I am a current senior at Jackson High School. Hugging is recognized across cultures as a socially acceptable display of affection, yet hugs are one of my least favorite things. My family mocks my phobia and has on several occasions wrapped themselves around me for their own sick sense of enjoyment at my disdain. Hugs are awkward. Short people seem to want their arms on top, while tall people want their arms on the bottom. The timing is always off, either lingering too long or over before the embrace happens. Some are too tight, others are just a bizarre hovering of limbs. The fear of smelling poorly amplifies in these situations. I debate which people are at hug relationship level or just deserve a handshake, possibly only a casual nod. In a family of avid huggers, I live in a constant state of unease. I am often asked if any types of hugs are acceptable. My siblings are tolerable, and of course, from the right individual, contact is encouraged, but only a select few people have the approval to embrace me. My inability to show love in conventional ways has resulted in joking topics, usually ending with a comparison of my likeness to the Grinch. While my heart may be 3 sizes too small, I have a Savior whose heart is 7 times larger than normal. Throughout my childhood, I was always taught that God is love. While love from earthly relationships will eventually fade, Christ's love is everlasting. God's love is pure, deriving from the sacrifice of his only begotten Son. Jesus spent his life serving others and ended with his arms outstretched, ready to eternally embrace his people. Our Savior overlooked the awkwardness of intimacy. Christ was willing to hug the tall, small, and smelly, forever long they needed the reminder that they are loved. As Christians, we are called to model after Christ's love. We are meant to step outside our comfort zones and sacrifice our time, talents, and gifts to the community. While hugging is still a debatable interaction for me, I've learned to communicate love through spending quality time with others. The programs offered by Church of the Lakes have been crucial to developing my love language. Summers have been spent in various areas across the nation, developing less fortunate communities on mission trips. My favorite week of the year is spent with children in our foster care system at Royal Family Kids Camp. Watching the same children develop over time has been a blessing. Putting aside the longing for air conditioning, technology, and sleep enables me to embody a surface level of sacrificial love similar to Christ. Teaching the children who have been through unimaginable tragedies of God's everlasting love transforms everyone at camp. The children are blessed with the message of the Lord, while the staff leaves enriched by the sight of Christ's love in action. Witnessing America's brokenness being fixed by pouring in God's love through the rebuilding of houses, alleviation of poverty, and intervention of the cycle of neglect kindled a passion within my soul. Realizing the need for change in an inspiring trip to Buckeye Girls State, I felt a call to public policy, to live my life as a vessel for Christ's love by aiding the least and the lost throughout the nation. As I boldly march toward my uncharted future, I will carry the life lessons learned from God's love in action. While tools are used to rebuild homes, stories are used to engage the elderly, and games are used to entertain the children, I reluctantly admit that hugs are most effective for comforting the lost. While hugs will never be my default interaction, the power of putting aside personal preferences to show support is a powerful action. At Royal Family Kids Camp, one of the foster children and I have grown close over the last few years. Everyone at camp calls him Z. Z starts off the week quiet and reserved. His first year I will call him mumbling finally on the 4th day. As he grows in experience, he still enters sheepishly, but opens up more quickly. The last few days consist of a rambunctious child full of energy and laughter. After the closing ceremony, I seek him out to give a last farewell to remind him that he is loved and camp is only a year away. While I initiate the goodbye hug, his small arms end up comforting me. The next 365 days are filled with uncertainty. I worry about the hurdles that await Z in the next year, but as his embrace tightens, I remember that he is entering the world with the guidance of a loving Lord. Z is a reminder that while earthly love may fail, God's love has the power to transform. At camp, Z awakens with the display of Christ's love. That one hug withstands a whole year. Although I dreaded the uncomfortable hugs that ensue as a result of politeness, I'm in anxious anticipation for the embraces that stir the soul. When used as a reminder of everlasting love, I can embrace hugs. My goal is to live my life with my arms wide open to pass on the message of unfailing love. As a challenge, I encourage each of you to hug someone today who radiates Christ's love for you, or embrace someone who needs a reminder. Preferably not me. Thank you.